by attending and/or commenting in this meeting. Your consent to recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. This meeting is also being live streamed as convenience to the public. In the event the live stream fails or cannot be transmitted for any reason, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption. Derek, roll call, please.
Jeannie Ewan.
Here.
Janelle Ressler.
Here.
Brian Lawyer.
Here.
Carl Thompson.
Here.
Nick Lovell.
Here.
Stephen Yerger.
Here.
Wayne Sullivan.
Here.
And Mary Brenneman and Danielle Brenneman are not here. They're on.
They both online?
Two. No, just one.
None
Um,
here. Okay.
Mary's here.
Mary's
So
here.
we're no Danielle yet, though.
Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Reckowitz? You're up.
Amelia, are you ready? Come on down, girlfriend. All right, we're gonna stand up front here. You're gonna be recognized for all the awesomeness. All right. And I'm gonna stand right here. Sound good? Okay. Oh, there's no mic. We don't need one. All right, I'll stand right next to you then, girlfriend. So Mrs. Baker is selecting Amelia Norman as Student of the Month. She wrote, "This honor is a testament to her outstanding dedication, hard work, and positive attitude, both inside and outside the classroom. She consistently demonstrates excellence in her academic performance, kindness towards others, and a strong commitment to contributing to a positive school community. Her enthusiasm for learning and willingness to help her classmates are qualities that truly stand out. It is clear that she takes pride in everything she does. This recognition reflects the respect and admiration she has earned from both her teachers and classmates. Keep up the excellent work and continue striving for excellence. I'd like to add that Amelia is an outstanding example of an artist in art class, which she tells me is her favorite special, along with library and PE. She loves art because she loves to be creative and draw. Her favorite subject matter is anything to do with animals. And Amelia loves to use bright colors and isn't afraid to try new techniques and materials in her work. I cannot wait to see how she grows as an artist. Congratulations, Amelia!
There you go. Mr. Howell and Ms. Howell.
All right, Tucker, you're up, bud. Front center.
Well, when Mr. Howell and I had the opportunity to pick our student of the month for 5th grade, we went through a couple names and then we both looked at each other and we both at the same time said, "What about that Tucker D'Amelio? He's a pretty cool guy." And we both knew that he was the perfect fit for this. And Mr. Howell has some particulars to share about Tucker.
So it is our pleasure to introduce Mr. Tucker D'Amelio as the 5th grade student of the month for April 2025. In school, Tucker is a very hard worker and puts his best efforts into his assignments. He's kind, courteous, and a model of our pilot values. He is one of 4 children. He has an older brother, Ben, who graduated last year from Lordstown. He has 2 older sisters, Katie, a senior, and Abby, who is in 10th grade. They have 1 dog, a beagle named Topper. Tucker is a member of our 5th grade band and currently plays the French horn. He also loves playing tennis and basketball. In his free time, he loves playing board games like Risk or playing Fortnite online with his friends. His family vacations in the Outer Banks, which is one of his favorite places to go. His favorite subjects in school are math and science, and his favorite special is gym class. Sorry, Mr. Ackles. If Tucker continues with the effort and attitude that he currently has in class, he will go far in life. Congratulations, Tucker.
Tucker. You're going to wear that medal tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah. I will have a spare one just for you to wear tomorrow. Here, I'll just go. I'll put it in. Big smile, Tucker.
All right, Ms. Johnson and Ms. Willett.
The 6th grade teachers are proud to recognize Mason Jeffcoat. Mason exemplifies our PRIDE acronym: personal responsibility and individual dedication to excellence. Those words just exemplify everything that Mason does in the class and outside of the classroom. We unanimously chose Mason because he shows all of the characteristics and qualities we look for. He's an excellent student and a learner. Mason is the son of Brian and Diana Jeffcoat. His choice sport is football. He has played for 4 seasons for LEFA, the Livingston Elementary Football Association, and plans to play in 7th grade. And I can't wait to watch you play once you're in the middle school team as well. Science is his favorite class, and I'm sure social studies is close by. Mason enjoys hunting and fishing and most activities that require being outdoors, he says. And he aspires to be a game warden one day. And from what I've seen of Mason, he will be one excellent game warden. Congratulations, Mason.
You're standing there, I'm not going to take it. Good evening. I'd first like to introduce Sydney Weeks as Littlestown High School Student of the Month for March. Sydney has been heavily involved in the arts while in high school, evidenced by her enrollment in AP2D Art this year, and she is also a member of the National Art Honor Society and is a member of the Color Guard as an extracurricular activity. Sydney's art teacher, Mrs. Horn, wrote the following about her. Sydney Weeks is an amazing, in all caps, student. She is very creative and kind. She shows her love of the arts by always experimenting and trying out new materials and processes in her 2D AP portfolio class. Sydney welcomes and includes all of her peers and will encourage peers outside of her friend circle to participate in conversations and activities. Mr. Peckart adds, Sydney is an incredible artist and is dedicated to her craft. She carries a bubbly persona and radiates with energy and optimism. He's an English teacher, in case you didn't know. Outside of school, Sydney is involved in Girl Scouts and has received silver and bronze awards during her time with the organization. Her positive attitude shines through often at school. Mrs. Lyon shared the following. Sydney was a pleasure to have in conceptual physics. Her bright and happy attitude made every class period better. I always enjoyed the light in her eyes when the physics concepts finally clicked for her. Beat me to it though, because that's This will follow her, no doubt, as she intends to attend Gettysburg College, focusing on a career in the art field. Congratulations to Sydney Weeks.
I mean, I graduated this year, but thoroughly enjoyed my experience at Littlestown, just in general. There are so many teachers who are so wonderful and amazing and so supportive and kind, and everyone's just been so helpful. And like, Miss Rakowitz is here. I love Miss Rakowitz. I adore her. I come down to the elementary school. I work with the elementary school kids, and it's like one of my favorite things to do all day. I like this place, and I'm very sad and scared that I'm going to be graduating.
You're going to be an amazing art teacher.
Do it to Kim. Oh, he's got the phone.
He's got it. We'll get this one. Next up, as Littlestown High School Student of the Month for March, is Walter Steele. Walter, come on up. Walter has been a consistently successful student in his high school career. He has immersed himself as a member of FFA, including taking courses such as horticulture, ag mechanics, and plant animal sciences, just to name a few. Another focus for Walter has been baseball, as he has been a member of the team throughout his time in high school. This is something that he has interest in doing beyond Littlestown High School as well. Teachers, when asked, have excellent things to say about Walter. Physics teacher, Mrs. Lyon, she's heavy on giving feedback, I love it. Walter is a hardworking and motivated young gentleman. Always challenging himself, he never settled for less in conceptual physics. I could always count on him to participate and strive to succeed. Walter's English 1 composition teacher, Mr. Peckard, again, also that. Walter has an exorbitant amount of character and is a pleasure to have in class. He rises to the occasion no matter what is asked of him and genuinely cares about his success and his peers. He is a leader in the truest sense of the word. Walter has plans to attend Delaware Tech to study networking, and as stated earlier, continue his baseball career. Congratulations to Walter Steele. Thank you. Yep.
I'd like to thank Amelia, Tucker, Mason, Sydney, and Walter. Tucker, which Outport Outer Banks is your favorite? Why, you like the horses? Do you go up the four-wheel drive, Ed? Good man. A little expensive for my taste up there. I can't afford it. All right, thank you all. Who's just going to take pictures? I mean, Mr. Moran. If you like, those of you that like to be excused now, may be. Mr. Moran is going to take pictures of the Students of the Month out in the lobby, and we appreciate it. And best of wishes to all the students of the month, like always. Thank you. I stopped. Snakes and spiders. At this time, we recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name, confirm you're a resident or taxpayer of the district, topic of discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole, not to an individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. If you wish to speak, may be interrupted, revoked, or recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Thank you. First up is Bill Barthel.
Hi, my name is Bill Barthel. I am a resident of Littlestown and a taxpayer. And what I'd like to talk about before we raise taxes anymore to cover the new air conditioning for the school, I used to be a supervisor of a maintenance and engineering department at NC State. And we had to do a feasibility study before we did anything. And a feasibility study, you would have to prove that it needed to be done. You had to pull the records out and make sure that you weren't spending more to replace it than you were to fix it, okay? Like, for instance, I think we're looking at, what, 1.5 million for replacements? Okay, if we're only spending 10 or 20,000 a year for repairs, that was part of the feasibility study. When you get to 50%, then you definitely want to go ahead and change it out. Second question is, or second point, if you go to new equipment, it's going to be a lot more technical than what's up there now, because I can guarantee, because I have an HVAC degree too. And what's going to happen, you're going to have units on the roof that nobody here can fix. You're not going to be able, and like you stated last week, new stuff breaks down too. So you're not going to have anybody on board that can fix it. So you're going to have to be calling in contractors again. So that's going to jack up the price again. So before you vote on changing these out, please do a feasibility study. Have them pull the records out and see how much they've spent per year on repairs. Because if it's less, if it's way less than what it is to replace it, doesn't make sense to change it right now. Because there's a whole lot of other things I know that you guys are looking at to do. And if that doesn't need to be done, maybe we should wait on that till another time. And that's pretty much, what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Stanton?
I want to talk about the proposed increase in taxes. Again, this year. My question is, who on this board is going to vote to increase our taxes? This is election year. And I know that the people running, again, voted to increase last year. So let's take a tally. Who's going to vote to increase our taxes? Jeannie? Janelle? Anybody? Raise your hand. Nobody. Nobody's going to vote to increase our taxes. We'll see how that pans out. Now, when y'all consider this, I know you're going to get a final proposed budget tonight. Keep in mind the source also told you it was going to cost us $30,000 to $50,000 to live stream. Hamilton just did it for less than $4. The borough is live streaming somewhere around $5. And it's going to cost us $30 to $50. Keep that in mind. The numbers are really, really overinflated. That's all I want to know is who's going to vote to increase our taxes. Again, you already know Adams County jacked them up. And then we'll see who voted in favor, and we will keep that in mind come election. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. We're going to go, there's be a little different way we do things tonight a little bit. We want to try to break things down so that we'll tell the reason why something's being done, whether it's a priority or a policy. So the first thing is going to be our athletic field updates. This is a priority for our grants and a $1 million fund. So that's part of the reason that we're doing this one. And up first is...
if you do baseball, you have to do softball.
Yes, yes, so that's additional, that's Title IX. So there's all those other little things in there. Okay, you're up.
Good evening, Brian Bingaman with Turf Track and Court. Appreciate your time here this evening. I kind of give you an overview of where we're at with the baseball and softball fields. Just as a quick refresher, last summer you authorized us to do a study on the baseball and softball, looking at them holistically, seeing what improvements were needed, wanted, and desired. Put those studies together. I know the board talked about those quite a bit. Then in November, we were granted to move forward with the next phase of the conceptual plans. I will call it design development, basically. Taking those schematic plans, taking your ideas and making them into workable drawings. Since November, we have done survey on the sites as well as put the plans together and developed them. We've also reviewed the plans with your administrative team a couple of times, got some feedback, as well as meeting with the borough and the Adams County Conservation District discussions. We'll get into the layouts. I'll talk about all those things as we move through the presentation here. The baseball improvements we'll talk about first. If you go to the next slide, please. Just an overview of the existing baseball field. That is when the bleachers were still there, just shortly after creating the stadium itself. The next slide, please. We developed the plans, basically looking at trying to develop the baseball field as a whole, utilizing the entire site for the baseball field itself. Next slide, please. It's a little bit bigger. Let me I'll just go through and look at the main points of the improvements. One is transitioning from the flat outfield fence from the stadium to a more unified outfield fence. Left field is about 310 feet. Center field 350 and right field 325. Looking at including let me take a step back here. The way we looked at these plans was to maximize all the improvements that were discussed during conceptual and as we evolved into the design development phase. I know there was a lot of discussion whether or not we needed certain aspects of it. At this stage, I'd recommend we look at the maximum opportunity to improve, and you can always dial it back when we get into the bidding phases. You can look at alternate bids to see how your budgets work out with the overall project. And also for the permitting, it makes sense to do all the potential improvements now. You can always back off. It's harder to add as we move forward through the permitting process. So that being said, basically looking at maximizing all the area for improvements. Again, the outfield fence with a 10-foot warning track, a sideline fence, which you currently do not have with a 5-foot warning track. Sideline fence is definitely beneficial to keep your athletes from the spectators and provide that definition. The backstop, we did push the backstop back away from home plate, try to give a little more playability. I know there's been discussion as far as foul balls and carrying out the back. We are increasing the backstop height to 22 feet. Currently, you're about 16 feet on the chain link section. Your netting goes a little higher. Also for ball control, looking at creating a ball control netting system along Newark Street. About 160 feet of 40-foot high ball control netting. I can guarantee it's not going to stop everything, but it's going to stop a vast majority of the foul balls going toward Newark Street. Baseball fields, it's tough to have 100% ball control without affecting the game. You know, there's an option to put a hood over the home plate, but then that affects really the play, the catcher's play, and the play behind the plate itself. So I do not recommend that, you know, from a baseball playability standpoint. Other improvements we're looking at would be converting the existing dugouts, demoing those, creating a masonry structure dugout for longevity and maximum use. Also including storage units or storage rooms, if you will, on both the first and the third base dugout. The dugouts as currently designed will have gates on the outside as well as inside exiting toward the field. That way you're able to secure the dugouts and keep unwanteds out of there during times when you're not using the facility. If you'll notice, we are including a lot of pathways. Accessibility is more important as we get through through the years. It is a big piece. We have a main entrance on Newark Street. We're putting a gate there, and then providing a pathway over to the existing field house to be able to utilize the field house facilities, concessions, as well as restrooms. And then also putting a connector in from the existing parking lot to the field house to try to provide a much better connection from both the outfield and the infield. That hard surface pave would be behind the backstop as well, accessing both dugouts, again providing a link for accessibility to your dugouts. And then the bleacher area, we talked about numbers there, potentially about 150 seat bleacher unit, potentially with a deck for your announcers or the scorekeepers. The existing batting cage would remain where it exists, but we would install surfacing to provide a more resilient and easier maintained facility. Go to the next slide, please. What we're looking at there is a standard backstop we typically put on fields. Again, it is 22 feet high to the top of the backstop. We found that's a pretty solid system from a longevity standpoint. Heavy chain link fence for maximization use. Next slide, please. Just a standard cross-section of the dugout. Again, this is a standard dugout that we use. Masonry construction with a rubber roof. So really, you put that in, you should not have to touch that for many, many years. Next slide, please. Again, just a couple pictures of the dugouts. Again, next slide, please. Ball control along Newark Street. This is what we'd be proposing for your foul ball control, a 40-foot high ball stopper system. Also with a pulley system, that way you can bring that net down over winter times of heavy wind, just so you protect it and be able to maximize the netting itself. Next slide, please. Comparatively, that is a ball control system we did at Central Dauphin School District. The lower pole is 20 feet, the upper pole is 30 feet. So we're proposing 40 feet, tried to project another 10 foot on top of that. Again, a pretty sound system for foul ball control. And then we'll move, or are there any questions on baseball before we move on to softball?
How about we come back over?
Okay. Then let's move to softball. Again, an aerial softball field. It is just south of the running track. The orientation is not optimal. It's a little bit further east than what we would like from a solar orientation. And then we'll move on to the next slide. I brought these up to show what we looked at the conceptual phase. The running track and the inside of the running track, the athletic field, there was discussion, do we want to ever improve that running track, make it wider, provide for a soccer play inside of the running track. Currently, it's an equal quadrant track, which only allows 190 feet, 195 feet of width for soccer. This configuration would allow 210, which is a more uniform width for soccer play. So the idea was to look at how that improvement or expansion of the track would affect the soccer, or the softball field, excuse me. As you can see, the expansion of the running track would basically bump into the existing bleachers and the third base dugout. So that actually helps, justify or realize the reorientation of that softball to maximize. Next slide, please. And then this is the reconfiguration to provide the separation. One thing also to be aware of, the running track is approximately 3.5 to 4.5 feet higher than the softball field. So we do have some slope issues to deal with between the two facilities. Again, lending itself to the proper solar orientation for the softball field. Next slide, please. These are the developed plans for the softball field. Again, a backstop, which is similar to baseball, just downsized because of the geometry of the softball, and a very similar type dugout system. Next slide, please. Again, looking at maximizing the softball field itself, installing an outfield fence with a 10-foot warning track. The outfield fence would be 6 feet high. The dimension for your outfield is 200 feet. That allows us to stay within the building setback from your side property line as well. Sideline fencing, again, 48 inches high with 5-foot warning track. The dugouts, again, similar masonry type construction with storage rooms on both first and third baseline.